Prince George copies Lilibet's 4th birthday photo. So Meghan posted this photo last year, 4th of June 2025, to mark Lilibet's 4th birthday. And then this year we had William and Kate release this photo of Charlotte, and that was on the 2nd of May 2026 this year. And then obviously yesterday we had George, 22nd of July 2026. So the Wales' family have yet again gone and mimicked and copied the Sussex family. And yesterday William and Kate shared a video on their Instagram to mark his 13th birthday. And this is a screenshot of the photo that screens Lilibet's 4th birthday photo. And again, George is on a boat and there's the sea, and then you got the background and all the landscape right in the back. And this isn't the first time this has happened. I mean, even Charlotte mimicked and copied Lilibet's 4th birthday photo this year. She was on the boat again, looking down at the family dog, and her hair was blowing in the wind, and the sea and the landscape in the background. And I did the comparison for Charlotte's birthday photo. You've seen my other video. And I said it was identical to this. And now we've got this one of Prince George yesterday. And again, it's just identical to Meghan's and the one they did for Charlotte. And it's just the exact same. And the background is identical to Meghan's background. Obviously, William and Kate are either doing this because they know how popular Harry and Meghan are, or they're doing it on purpose to annoy them, or they desperately need to have the Sussex style look. And the press and the media won't cover this. They'll just turn a blind eye and ignore it, like everything's fine, there's nothing wrong here, don't take any notice. But I think they desperately need William and Kate to copy the Sussex style look. And when you just look at the photos, so Meghan did it first, let's just get that straight. Meghan did it first on the 4th of June 2025. Then Charlotte, 2nd of May 2026. George, 22nd of July 2026. And it's a replica of Meghan's. It just screams Meghan. And it's almost like we're going to get George again on the same boat. Obviously, it's the same boat that Charlotte was on. Obviously, it's a video that was also taken on their holiday during their time in Cornwall. And they've just done a different angle, but they've still got the sea and the background and all the landscape, and it's just identical to Meghan's. And it's really creepy actually, because I've never known them do it quite consistent like this, because I thought this would just be a one-off. They'd just do it with Charlotte and then leave it, but I didn't realise they were going to do it again with George. Oh no, we're going to go for a second time and copy Meghan's birthday photo of Lilibet. And I mean, it's orchestrated, rehearsed, it's a setup, and it's been done again. So people say, oh, aren't they so similar to the Sussex family? No, you're not like the Sussexes. You will never be like the Sussex family. You've literally just gone and copied them, but that won't make you become them. See, that's where they're going wrong. They think just by copying them and mimicking them and imitating them, they're going to become them. But they're not. You have to have that inside you, and they just don't have it. And they've literally just copied them. And why can't William and Kate just get their own ideas? I mean, you need to stop copying Harry and Meghan all the time. I mean, they say that Meghan is fake and contrived and cheesy. Well, why then are the Wales' family copying her yet again? I mean, if Meghan's Instagram account and all her posts and videos are such a nightmare and a disaster, then why are William and Kate recreating all of Meghan's photos? And don't say rubbish, nothing like it. Breezy boat trip, background, the sea, the landscape, everything. And they've studied this birthday photo that Meghan released on the 4th of June 2025 on her Instagram, and they've literally had to pick one, which they did. They picked it for Charlotte, and now they've done it yet again for George. And I mean, it's pure mirroring and mimicking. And as soon as I saw the video of George yesterday, and I screenshotted this certain part of the video, it just screamed Meghan again. It screamed Meghan, and then it reminded me of the one they did for Charlotte afterwards, and they've done it again. And yeah, William and Kate will bully and scrutinise and harass Meghan by still briefing the press with negative and false stories about her, yet they're parading George about and they're deliberately recreating Lilibet's 4th birthday photo. I mean, it's normally if you don't like someone, you keep a wide berth. You don't go anywhere near their style, their look, how they do their media platform. You wouldn't copy it, you do your own thing. But obviously William and Kate have no ideas, no creativity, and they have to copy Meghan because they know she's interesting and creative and she's not boring or dull. But William and Kate are boring and dull. And I just think, what are the chances that we had Meghan release this photo first on the 4th of June 2025 on a boat, background, the sea, the landscape, and then this year, 2nd of May 2026, Charlotte, boat, sea, background, and then 22nd of July 2026, sea, boat, background. And it's not a coincidence, it's deliberate, and it just shows you how aggressive, confrontational and threatened the Wales' family are of the Sussex family. And as I said, when you know someone's rubbish, you're not going to copy them, you're not going to mimic them, you're not going to recreate any of their stuff because they're so embarrassing and they're basically crap at the job. But when you know they're amazing at the job and they get the media and public interest like Harry and Meghan do, then they are going to copy. And this is what we've got. They know Harry and Meghan are good, hence why they're doing it. And they know they are the iconic family, the Sussexes. The Wales' family aren't like that. They're very formal, cold, distant. The children come across as really boring and miserable, and hence the mimicking. And I mean, things must be bad with the Waleses. I mean, they're so needy and desperate that they need to copy Meghan, but William and Kate are so bad at their job because they come across as really cold and formal and not fun and bubbly. And it's almost like they're trying yet again, to raise their popularity and their public image by sharing this birthday video yesterday of Prince George celebrating his 13th birthday. And remember, Meghan had 260 million views overall on all her reels and videos on her Instagram at the end of 2025. And William and Kate only received 146 million views overall for all their Instagram videos and reels. So it just shows you which couple are more popular, just by the numbers really and the statistics. But I think William and Kate have drummed it into their heads that they have to copy everything that Meghan shares and posts on her Instagram. And this is stalking though. This is serious stalking, and it's really, really creepy. And it's almost like William and Kate want to receive, the same global media attention and coverage that Harry and Meghan get. Because as we all know, when Meghan posts something on her Instagram, the Daily Mail cover it. Meghan doesn't ask the media and the press to cover all her stuff that she shares. She shares her stuff on Instagram for her fans and her supporters. And then the Daily Mail will go on there, see it, and they'll cover it. Meghan hasn't told the Daily Mail to, but the Daily Mail want to cover it so they can earn the dosh and the money because they know Meghan's a gold mine. And as I said, yeah, Meghan doesn't say to the media, hey media, just cover this thing I've just posted on my Instagram. She's not like that, unlike the Waleses, which instruct the media and the press every day to cover them, to keep them relevant and interesting. And this is a clear, and yet again, another clear example of the level of stalking and harassment William and Kate do towards Harry and Meghan. Obviously, we had Kate going out on Lilibet and Archie's birthday this year. As I said, Meghan did it first, 4th of June 2025, 2nd of May 2026, 22nd of July 2026, on a boat, seas behind them, landscape, background. It's borderline stalking and copying, but there you go. Share, copy, repost,
Squaddies, can we be honest for a second? The palace PR machine isn't even trying to be subtle anymore. Seriously. Some people still act shocked every time a perfectly timed royal headline lands on the front page. I'm over here thinking, did you really think that was random? Come on now. Big institutions have PR teams. That's normal. Governments have them, big companies have them, celebrities have them. Of course the palace has them too. That's not the interesting part. The real question is this. Why do the rules suddenly change when Harry and Meghan are involved? That's where things start getting a little funny. When Harry and Meghan post a family photo, it's a publicity stunt. They're exploiting private moments. They're desperate for attention. Then the palace releases a beautifully photographed family picture. Suddenly it's, how touching, how refreshing, what a beautiful family. Wait a minute, didn't we just have this conversation yesterday? It's the same type of content. The reaction changes depending on whose faces are in the photo. That's what people are noticing. And let me tell you something, regular people aren't blind. You don't need to be a royal expert. You don't need a fancy title. You just need a pair of eyes. People can spot inconsistency from a mile away. It's like your teacher letting one student copy homework or giving another student attention for the exact same thing. Eventually, the whole class starts asking questions because the rules stop making sense. That's exactly why this debate keeps coming back. The palace isn't printing birthday photos with crayons in the kitchen. There's planning, there's timing, there's strategy. That's literally what communications teams are paid to do. Fine, no problem. But if we're going to acknowledge that reality, then let's be consistent. Don't tell Harry and Meghan every family photo is a calculated PR exercise, then turn around and pretend palace photo releases just magically appeared after floating down from the clouds. Pick a lane, that's all people are asking. And here's what really makes me laugh. The same commentators who can spend 20 minutes explaining Harry and Meghan's hidden agenda somehow lose all curiosity when it comes to palace messaging. Suddenly, nobody wants to analyze timing. Nobody wants to ask why a photo dropped on a particular day. Nobody wants to talk about communication strategy anymore. Amazing how that works. It's like the detective clocks out halfway through the mystery. Now here's the bigger issue. Harry and Meghan don't even have to say anything. People are making these comparisons on their own because they see what the palace is trying to pull here. Social media is full of folks putting pictures side by side, looking at dates, looking at headlines, looking at the different reactions. People are paying attention. They're connecting dots. And once people start asking questions, you can't just wave them away with another polished headline. At the end of the day, this isn't really about one photograph. It's about credibility. Because if the exact same action is praised when one side does it, but condemned when Harry and Meghan do something similar, don't be surprised when people start questioning the fairness of the coverage. Harry and Meghan didn't create that conversation. The different reactions did. And the more those reactions keep changing depending on who's in the picture, the harder it becomes to convince people they're watching the same game with the same rulebook.
Squaddies, this is where the whole thing starts looking less like coincidence and more like two completely different rulebooks. Seriously. Same kind of family photo, same smiling kids, same outdoor setting, same look how happy we are vibe, but somehow completely different headlines. Harry and Meghan post a rare family picture. Boom, here come the think pieces. It's calculated, it's a publicity stunt, they're using their children, they're chasing attention again. You can almost set your watch by it. Then, the palace drops a family photo. Suddenly, the mood changes faster than a weather forecast. Aw, how sweet, how refreshing, what a lovely family moment. Hold up, didn't we just spend 3 days hearing that family photos were supposedly a terrible thing? What changed? The picture or the people in it? That's the million-dollar question. And let's be honest, regular people aren't buying this anymore. You don't need to be Sherlock Holmes to notice when the goalposts keep moving. If your neighbor does something and everybody claps, then you do the exact same thing and suddenly you're the villain, you're gonna start asking questions. Anybody would. That's just human nature. Here's what cracks me up. Some critics seem to have two different pairs of glasses. One pair for Harry and Meghan, everything looks suspicious, everything has a hidden agenda, everything needs a 20-minute breakdown. Then they switch to the palace glasses. Now, everything looks adorable, heartwarming, authentic. Nothing to investigate here, folks. Move along. Really? Come on. At least pretend you're using the same measuring tape, because people notice. And once people notice, it's hard to unsee it. That's why this conversation keeps coming back. Not because Harry and Meghan keep talking about it, because the reactions keep proving the point every single time. Harry and Meghan share one small glimpse of family life. The internet explodes. The tabloids go into overtime. Commentators suddenly become body language experts, parenting experts, photography experts, you name it. Meanwhile, similar family moments from the palace often get wrapped in soft music, glowing headlines, and a nice little bow. It's the contrast that gets people talking, not just the photos themselves. Now, don't get me wrong, every public family has communication strategies. Nobody's shocked by that. The surprise is how differently the exact same type of content gets judged depending on whose surname is attached to it. That's where the debate really begins. And here's the funniest part. The louder some critics shout that Harry and Meghan are desperate for attention, the more attention those critics end up giving them. Think about it. One Sussex photo, hundreds of articles, thousands of tweets, hours of television debates. Who's really keeping the story alive? Exactly. At the end of the day, this isn't just about photographs, it's about fairness. If we're going to judge public figures, at least use the same rulebook for everybody. Because when one family gets applause for something another family gets attacked for, people stop questioning the photo, they start questioning the coverage. And once that happens, the spotlight shifts away from Harry and Meghan and lands right back on the people writing the headlines.
Squaddies, can we hit the pause button for a second? Forget the palace, forget the headlines, forget the endless royal tug-of-war. Let's talk about the kids, because somewhere along the way, people started acting like children were fair game, and that's where I draw the line. Archie didn't sign up for this, Lilibet didn't sign up for this, George didn't sign up for this, Charlotte didn't, Louis didn't. They're kids, that's it. They're not PR directors, they're not media strategists, they're not writing press releases before breakfast. Imagine being a literal kid, just trying to grow up, while millions of grown-ass strangers analyze your entire existence. Think about how completely unhinged that is. One family photo drops online, and adult humans turn into full-on forensic investigators. Why are his shoes worn out? What's up with her hair? Is that smile forced? Seriously, go outside, touch some grass. It is never that deep. Here is what really blows my mind. William and Kate are actively feeding this toxic machine, constantly pushing a fake competition between their kids and Harry and Meghan's kids. They love playing the hypocrites, crying for privacy one day, but the second the Sussexes post Archie or Lilibet, or when the Welleses need a quick PR cover-up, William and Kate drag George, Charlotte and Louis right out to centre stage. They're literally using their own children to fuel a media comparison game. That isn't protecting your kids, that's using them as PR ammunition to stay ahead in a numbers game they're losing. And that's why Harry was 100% right all along. He's been screaming from the rooftops about the trauma of growing up with lenses shoved in his face, being chased by ruthless photographers, and having his sacred childhood moments sliced up for front-page tabloids. Wanting to shield Archie and Lilibet from that vulture culture isn't controversial, it's basic parenting. Harry and Meghan chose peace for their family, while William and Kate keep playing dirty media games, stoking the fire and letting the press pit royal kids against each other. Regular people get this in a heartbeat. If random weirdos started zooming in and picking apart your child's birthday photo online, you'd tell them to step off real quick. Kids aren't public property, and they shouldn't be used as pawns in a petty royal rivalry. Harry and Meghan have always been consistent. Protect the kids, period. It's William and Kate who need to stop feeding their children to the media circus just to score cheap points against the Sussexes. Let Archie and Lilibet live in peace, and stop using George, Charlotte and Louis as shield guards. Leave the kids out of the adult drama, full stop.
Squaddies, when you step back from all the headlines, all the palace briefings and all the daily royal drama, one thing becomes impossible to ignore. Harry and Meghan are still the conversation. Think about it. How many times have we been told this is it? They're finished. They're irrelevant. Nobody cares anymore. Really? Then why does every little thing they do end up dominating the news cycle? Why does one family photo spark days of debate? Why does one interview get picked apart for months? Why does one appearance have everybody rushing to write articles, make videos, and flood social media? That doesn't happen to people nobody cares about. Let's keep it 100. You don't spend years talking about people who don't matter. You don't keep comparing everyone else to people you've supposedly moved on from. That's not how life works. It's like saying you've deleted somebody's number while checking their Instagram every morning before breakfast. Come on now, who are we kidding? Here's what really stands out to me. Harry and Meghan don't even have to shout anymore. They live their lives. They launch a project, Harry shows up for veterans, Meghan supports a business, shares a family moment, or starts a new venture. And boom, the conversation takes off all over again. That's influence. Not because somebody handed it to them, because people keep paying attention. Even the critics, especially the critics. In fact, some of Harry and Meghan's loudest critics spend more time talking about them than their biggest supporters. Now that's funny. Imagine saying you're tired of a TV show, then somehow watching every single episode, season after season. Who's the real fan here? Exactly. And that's why I laugh every time somebody announces the Sussexes are over. 5 minutes later, another headline, another debate, another comparison, another panel discussion. It's like watching somebody say they're done eating cake while reaching for another slice. At this point, actions speak louder than predictions. Harry and Meghan have built a life outside the palace, but somehow the palace conversation keeps circling back to them. That's telling. Whether it's charity work, business projects, family moments, or public appearances, people keep measuring news stories against what Harry and Meghan are doing. It means they're still impossible to ignore. And here's what regular people understand better than anyone. Relevance isn't something you can announce. You can't print it in a headline. You can't manufacture it in a press office. The public decides. If people stop caring, the conversation disappears on its own. But if the conversation keeps coming back year after year, well, that tells you everything you need to know. At the end of the day, this story isn't really about one photograph. It isn't about one carefully timed headline. It's about who continues to shape the discussion. Because the biggest proof of relevance isn't what Harry and Meghan say about themselves. It's how often the world keeps talking about them. And judging by everything we've seen, the Sussexes aren't chasing the conversation anymore. More often than not, they're saying it. Thanks for watching. I'm your host, Miles. Let me know what your thoughts on this podcast. Hope you enjoyed. Love you all and God bless you all. Goodbye.